Shalom, shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elected nation of Israel, and to speckled word Israelites that look like the heathen nations that are scattered abroad. So y'all say shalom. Now I'm going to give a shalom to all you brothers and sisters that may be listening and learning to these videos. And shalom to all you brothers that are out there in the highways and byways doing the work of the Lord in these latter days. So y'all say shalom. And I also want to mention that this video is for the Israelites only, and the Israelites today are who you call Black, Hispanic, Native American, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Haitian, Dominican, Guatemalans, the Panamanians. Those are Israelites, always have been, always will be. And I'm coming back at y'all today with another video on end time headlines. And I always do, videos based off of this website. Yeah, I always do videos off this this website. And as y'all can see, it says NYC, which is New York, releases public service announcement for residents in the event of a nuclear attack. Now, this is a sign of the times, for them to have I think brothers, I've seen brothers, and elders and GMS, they posted clips of, basically them having I guess it's like a commercial, whatever, for, in a case of an event like this happens, nuclear missiles get shot over here. It's just another sign, man, that war is coming, man. World War III, is here, which is prophecy in the Bible. And I'm gonna get this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, and I think it's verse 5. Because that's prophecy. Right? It says, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Now, that's going to take place by way of, nuclear missiles being shot over here, ICBM missiles, which are intercontinental ballistic missiles being shot over in America. Because at the end of the day, all these other countries, these other nations, they're going to turn on Esau. Esau, Edom is the biblical nationality of the so-called white race, And, America's going to shoot missiles to these other countries too, but mainly, these other countries are going to turn on America, and shoot missiles over here. Because America, which is Babylon the Great, is the country that's going to be completely wiped out. You're going to have different portions of land, across the world get destroyed, but not completely. America is going to be the only, land pretty much that's going to be completely destroyed. But it's not a coincidence that they having, a public service announcement, for residents in case of a nuclear attack. They're basically getting you prepared. We are in those times, man. Let's get this in the book of Malachi. I believe that's 4 and what is that, verse 1? It says, "For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble." It says, "In that day cometh that shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch." Now, how are people going to be burned up? How are they going to be burned up? Is it going to be burned up, by World War III being hit by missiles? That's not talking about anything else but, people getting shot with these nuclear missiles and these bombs and stuff like that during World War III. People aren't just going to be set on fire. They're going to be caught in that missile fire, which is the second death, which is going to be that second destruction, that the Lord is bringing upon this earth. And I bet you have so many jakes, that they're probably not even aware of this, or if they are, they came across it, they ain't paying no attention. That's why the scriptures say this in the book of Luke. It's not a coincidence at all. It was at Luke chapter 24, and might be in the wrong one. Luke chapter, I'm trying to find it. This is Luke chapter 21 and verse 35. It says, "For as a snare shall it come upon all them that dwell upon the face of the earth. You see? And the snare is what? A snare is a trap. You got Esau's basically telling you, what they plan on doing and how, things are going to play out. But our people, 2/3 of our own people, you so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans, y'all so in darkness that y'all don't ever think that this is possible. You may hear, these other countries, going against each other on the other side of the world, but one day, it's going to come over here, That's why the scriptures call, America, virgin daughter of Babylon, because, America's never been in any major wars. Of course, you got World War I and World War II, but, America's never really, it didn't really take place over here, and they didn't lose. But this time, America's getting ready to lose. We in that time period, And Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white nation, they getting ready to go down, man. This is the end of their world, This is going to be the war to end all wars. Let me get this in the book of Revelation, chapter 11, I believe it's verse 13. Yep. I'm going to start at verse 12, because this is going to happen at the same time as soon as those missiles drop. It says, verse 12, it says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying, come up hither. And they ascended up into heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Right, this is talking about, the Israelites, the elect, that's going to be beamed up in a so-called chariot. Well, not so-called chariot, but so-called UFO. That's what Esau calls them, or they call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenons. But they're really chariots of the Lord, Or they call them flying saucers, but those, in the scriptures, they call them clouds. That's what the Israelites are going to be beamed up in at the same time as those missiles are hitting the earth. And then it goes into that in the verse 13. It says, in the same hour, see, it says, was there a great earthquake? That's how there's going to be a great earthquake. It says, and the 10th part of the city fell. And the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, not literally 7,000, but it's just a complete number. It says, and the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the God of heaven. Verse 14, it says, the second woe is past. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is the third war's war. And that's going to be the war to end all wars. You see? So, I wonder how many people, like I said, are actually paying attention to this, because this is important, man. When has the daily or average citizen in Babylon had to worry about, or, preparing for a nuclear attack? Because you always hear, these Edomites, these so-called white people out here saying that, oh, America's the greatest country on earth. We got the best military on earth. Russia and China won't ever do anything to us. We'll do anything to them before they do anything to us. Nah, they ain't according to scripture, man. That's not according to scripture. The Bible is truth, Let me get this in 2nd Ezra chapter 15. Was that verse 3? It says, no, that's not it. I'm gonna start at verse 1, and I'm gonna get verse 2. It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Now, when it speaks of, World War III in the scriptures, or anything in the scriptures of that matter, the Lord is not a liar. The Lord is not going to say something and have it be written down and it not come to pass. Everything written in the Bible, if it hasn't come to pass, it will come to pass. Because you got, us going to slavery, us coming over here and being sold on auctioneer blocks, us losing our heritage, us being beaten, us catching these diseases, us hating each other, killing each other, being called after different names. That's all in the curses. Those things all came to pass. The so-called white man being exalted, that's came to pass, right? So what else is going to come to pass? This is going to come to pass, But I want to get this in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46. I don't want this lesson to be too long. It says, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. And World War III is a part of the Lord's pleasure. It's going to happen whether we like it or not. Let me look this up real quick. Salakia. I think it's in the book of Isaiah. That's the one I wanted to get. It's Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. It says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare, and before they spring forth, I tell you of them." Are your pastors in these churches warning you about World War III? Hell no. Before I was in the truth, when I used to go to so-called churches, that's not the actual church of Yahweh Shai. I ain't never heard them speak about, nothing that we say. In the truth, I definitely never heard them speak about, missiles and, America being destroyed. You don't hear stuff like that. They tell you that everything's good, which is not the truth. For this to be mainstream, for this to be publicly available, for you to know and see, we at the end. We are at the end, man. So, yeah, this is not a surprise, man, because it will happen. It will happen. Esau's in the midst of his MWO right now. We already basically living in it. It just hasn't went full blown yet. So it's not a coincidence you got all these different things taking place. Food shortages, gas shortages, that's gonna go up. Eventually it's gonna run out, and all hell's gonna break loose. Blackouts. Everything is happening at once. And the finishing touch is gonna be, the nuclear missiles, coming over here. So this is a big update right here. But I'm gonna end off on that. I didn't want this lesson to be too long. I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect nation of Israel. So y'all say shalom, I'm going to say why, blah, blah, blah.